Seems you're being called there. Being summoned.
Arwen, set the beat off flow. Whoa.
What is up, everybody? We have gone live, and we're here with our podcast. You know, it's me, the Infinite, my guy over here. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Bam! Got it right this time. Ooh, almost fake out. What's up, guys? I'm Dan Estrata. If you have listened to this before or watched with us before, you would know that I'm Dan Estrata. But if you don't, now you know. We are acquainted with each other. Well, it's more of a one-way acquaintance, but regardless, we're meeting, sort of. But anyway, this is the Money Match Gaming Podcast, talk show, whatever you want to call it. We talk about all sorts of things, whether it be TV shows, movies, anime, video game, music. We got it all. We talk a lot about everything. Today in particular, we're doing a little bit of a show and tell episode, basically talking about things that we're interested in right now and just kind of speaking our minds about it, whether it be a video game, whether it be an anime, whether it be a TV show. So without further ado, Lance?
Yeah, so like you said, this is an episode of what we're into. I think it's going to evolve. I had some ideas after we decided to do this. So, you know, it'll evolve next month, you know, while we're kind of working on our little series here. But we're just going to basically talk about what it is we're doing, what we're into, and different kinds of subjects that we want to explore while we're going forward. So that's kind of the goal and everything like that. And I'm going to ruin your name. I'm going to ruin it. It always happens, but Carvia 4 is what I'm guessing. Dan, you want to give that a try?
Carvia. Well, yeah, Carvia. That looks right.
Yeah, but you never know, because I get it wrong a lot. People are like, no, because there's like some like secret way it's framed that you never get it right.
Carvia? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be a bunch of things, but welcome.
Carvia, we're gonna need a pronunciation tool. We'll just throw that in the comments. We'll check it out. You got it right.
Cool.
It. Bing, bang, boom.
You know, so I mean, you know, let's go ahead and get started. Again, it's kind of a show and tell episode. It's the first one we're doing of this series, so bear with us. You know, we're kind of got to roll with the punches. And, you know, I kind of wanted to start with anime. Was there any kind of anime you were kind of into this season? You know?
Anime, I've been definitely falling behind on. As with, like, all TV for the most part, there's very few TV shows that I've been watching. I'm starting to try and get back into Better Call Saul because the new season started up for that. But anime, I'm really, really far behind. I haven't even watched any of the third season of My Hero yet, so please don't burn me at the stake for that, because I know it's awesome. I'm sure it is. But
it's starting off slow. Everything this season's starting off slow. Like I haven't watched any of the series I'm watching. It's just really, really slow.
Yeah, I've been rewatching a lot of stuff.
Yeah, not to say that My Hero's not good though, because it is good. It's just slow. You know, like you end on that like huge high on season 2. You know, to where we finally get to see the bad guy and everything like that, you know, and we're like, yeah, hype, and then it's kind of right back down to the bottom of the hill. You know, they're not riding it at all.
Build up again, yeah. I've been watching again Space Dandy a little bit, which I love Space Dandy, so it's just like another rewatch for me. But that's just an entertaining show that I like to throw on every now and again. But really nothing new as far as anime goes. How about you?
Well, there's a couple, but real quick, have you watched any of Attack on Titans? Carvia's asking about it, actually.
I have not watched Attack on Titan at all. Well, that's not true. I've watched like the first couple episodes or so and realized it just wasn't for me. It's like not my cup of tea anime. I understand that it's good, and I do recognize that it has one of the best theme songs. Hey, we got a little visitor.
Yeah, you got.
But yeah, it has one of the best theme songs of as far as any of the animes I know go. It's actually I play this game on my phone that's like a rhythm game, and the theme song for Attack on Titan is one of my favorite songs to play in that game. So that is the extent of my knowledge on Attack on Titan. I haven't
It's
been
not your cup of tea?
Yeah, it has never been really my cup of tea. It's I'm not really into like the like hyper violent animes. And that one's it's not as bad as like a Dead Man Wonderland per se, but it's pretty gory and just wasn't what I was into.
They do go for shock value. I'll give you that. It's shock value. I wouldn't say it's violent, but it's really, really shock value to where like a lot of things happen that you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They went there, you know, and they kind of like, do go to some really dark places.
Hey, no, you know, just because it's not for me, not saying it's not a good show. I know a lot of people that praise it, so I won't ever down talk that show, but I don't know enough about it to really give too much.
Well, I got like really into it. Season 1 was obviously amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's an iconic anime for sure. I mean, it's one that people talk about all the time. It's probably one of the more popular recent ones that I can think of. That and My Hero, and One Punch Man. Which, by the way, I don't know if you saw One Punch Man season 2.
2020.
2020.
All those ridiculous memes, dude. Like I laugh so hard because like, you know, everybody's like kind of like they have that like first frame, they're like, yeah, and then the second one's like 2020 and there's like a bunch of tears. So I see that like you ever see that black dude meme? Where he's like smiling really hard and then the next one there's like tears coming down his eyes.
It's usually used for like whatchamacallit, like people like browsing Google and they're like, oh, I love this guy, like life expectancy of this, and just like, oh no, you're gonna die.
So there's like a lot of those, you know. And my friends actually sent me a couple things about it to where they're like, they send it to me and they're like, yeah, you know, One Punch Man, yeah. And then
it is hype though.
I'm like,
I mean, it's definitely hype.
I mean, why though? Because the manga's so far ahead. I feel like they're deep. They're deep. I occasionally go and like just browse the manga and stuff like that, and like they're so deep that I just don't understand why, you know, the
takes time.
Other projects gonna take so long.
Takes time to animate and voice it, and you know, do all that other jazz.
I don't know. It's sad though, because that was one of my favorite ones. I got so hyped getting ready to watch it, you know, and I'm like, I love those kind of animes to where, you know, you kind of get this slight. I mean, I like comedy. Like, it's more of a comedy than anything else.
No, it's 100% action. It is hilarious.
So it's like...
it's so funny because everybody else is so serious, and Saitama is just like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Well, like, I just love all the reasons that he gets upset. He always gets so ridiculously upset about things that he shouldn't be upset about. So when he fought that beast in that like giant laboratory where that dude was trying to build the best beast humanly possible and stuff, and they go in this cave, you know, and you know, man, I can never say their names right, but flame hand dudes. Genos. See, it hit me right then and there, you know, and then like he's like watching the dude fight, and for a little while he's worried, and then they get to that point in like the thing, and like the doctor's like, "What's wrong with his face?" And the beast is like, "What's going on?" And then Genos is like, he realized that the sale that he was talking about he needed to do was only today, and then he just goes,
Yep.
he just gets that uppercut in, and he like blows into a million pieces. And Genos was like, if they only knew the reason he reacted that way, the situation would be so much different. And then
I really liked one of my favorite characters in that is the bicycle dude. What's his name?
Momo Rider.
Yeah. He's got no power. Mugen Rider got no powers, just rides a bike. I love that guy.
I mean, it's like there's a reason that they made it, you know, is to make fun of like shonen, you know, the continual growth, this ridiculous, super powerful being for no reason and stuff, and that's just supposed to be kind
fun.
of like the kryptonite.
It's just a fun show.
But there's a deeper meaning, though. I was just saying, you know, like, but it definitely is awesome. I think my favorite fight in that anime itself would definitely be the King Fishman dude. You know, like. Just
when the dude came in, that was when you first see Mugen Rider.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the first time you saw him. It was the first time they went into his story a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Where they like introduced him really.
Right. And so it was like that was my favorite episode.
Saitama a ride.
Because, like, just the simple fact that he punched the storm away. And like, how casual they made it. So everybody's like, yeah. And then you know, Saitama's standing there like, all right, well, let's get this done. You know.
I also liked at the end how he gave everybody else the credit, you know? How he was just like, yeah, you guys are right. Everybody else weakened him. I just got lucky with that punch to not, like, give away his strengths because he's not trying to, you know, overshadow anybody.
No, he's just humble.
Yeah.
He's just humble. This is from humble beginnings.
Well, it's not even just him being humble. It's just him. He's straight up lying. It's just him just being like, yeah, that's fine. Let them hate me and like everybody else. Let them not, you know, revolt against everybody else because that won't work.
But if we're gonna go into the animes that I'm watching this season, Overlord. I asked you to possibly like look into it. I don't know if you're
still have not watched it.
No.
Not nothing like I said, it's nothing knocking towards you. I am so behind on literally everything. I am not current with a single show except for Mr. Robot. And well, Game of Thrones, but they haven't aired an episode of that in like 2 years. I'm so far, but like I haven't watched the second season of Stranger Things yet. Everybody keeps telling me to watch that. Overlord. I had just finished One Punch Man recently.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
You didn't
I started it years ago. I just never got around, like, because I can't follow, like, I watch all my TV pretty much, like, right before bed. Or if I go to my buddy's house. And he's not into anime, so I don't really watch a lot of anime with him. But if I put on something that I've never seen right before bed, your boy ain't going to bed anytime soon. Like, I have work today. I can't be up till 4 o'clock in the morning binging a show, which always happens, which is why like I've gotten to this thing where I just either throw on wrestling before I go to bed because I can fall asleep during WWE wrestling because it's boring as fuck half the time, or like I throw on something I've already watched, whether it be like an anime like Space Dandy that I've been watching, or like Arrested Development again, which I've seen a billion times, you know, stuff like that. Something where if I've seen it already, my body's like, great, we know what happens here. But if I've never seen it, I'm like, I need to watch every episode before I sleep. And then I never sleep.
And Benny, man, thank you for those bits, man. Much appreciated.
Hey. Benny and the Jets.
Yeah,
nice.
Benny's an actual really great player. And CEO, awesome. He placed, I believe, in the top 50.
Oh, hell yeah. Smash.
Yeah. So he's...
Congrats, bud. You excited for Ultimate? I am.
He might still be there. I'm not sure. He just stopped in to say what's up. But
I mean, who isn't excited for Ultimate? Let's be real. That game is got
it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope.
Moon hype through the moon.
And then there's one manga that I always keep up with. Like typically with manga, like it's not that I hate it. It's just I prefer the animation. I prefer the voice lines and the interactions,
right,
and the flow. I think I do have a good imagination, but I don't like overusing it in these types of situations. I mean, prefer...
with a manga, you don't really need imagination. Everything's drawn out for you. It's not like reading a regular book. But I also agree. Like, I am more willing to watch a, like, you know, like a comic book done as like an animated series rather than read the comic book or just pretty much anything of that nature.
Right, and I mean, the only reason I say I don't like using my imagination is it's like really hard to match the tone and the feeling of what's actually going on unless you actually hear someone speak. So like, it's more of that, not necessarily realizing how somebody threw a punch.
Not like visual, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so that's just more of like understanding the context of how they're feeling and how they're interacting, you know, because there's like tons of voice lines that people really, really enjoy. Like specifically me and my friends, we always quote voice lines from different shows, movies, and so on and so forth. And having to read it isn't always quite the same moment. Like,
well, you can't, like, because you don't know the tone. Like sometimes you can kind of guess the tone of it, but not always.
Right. So like that's exactly what I mean.
I
like
gotcha.
That's what I'm kind of shooting for, to understand that and how that dynamic works and stuff like that. So, you know, like that kind of gets missed, you know? And like it's okay, but at the end of the day I'm kind of like, man, you know, that's it. But that's pretty much all I've been kind of doing with anime. I really do need to catch up on Attack on Titans. I think I stopped like 2 episodes in season 2.
What I really want to watch is Fooly Cooly Progressive, because I love Fooly Cooly, and it's short. It's only 6 episodes, so that's like one night of losing sleep, and rather than like spreading it out over two.
Did it come out already? Because like
Yeah,
I thought I watched something, but it didn't quite feel the same.
it did. Well, because it Fully Coolly Progressive is kind of like a retelling of the first, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't watched it. I'm not too familiar, but it did all come out already.
Okay. Then maybe I should check it out. It's just one of those things.
The original, well, I mean, it's one of those shows that's very difficult to understand. Like it, I mean, I've watched it many, many a times, and I still don't really know what it is, but I like it. I enjoy it. I couldn't tell you why. One of the reasons is the music. The Pillows do great music for that show, but the show itself is sometimes pretty hard to understand. What's up, Jujubee? Welcome to the show. But yeah, so I'm a big Fully Coolly guy, but I totally understand why anyone wouldn't be.
I mean, my guess, because I got in an argument with a friend a long time ago about the show, and I was like, man, you don't even understand the show. And she gave me some kind of synopsis that makes sense. But what I took from the show itself was that, like, it's all about creativity and your ability to stay free and fluid with yourself. You know?
I thought it was all about maturing into, like, what someone feels as an adult. Okay. Like, the entire story is about the kid who, now I can't remember his name because it's been so long since I've watched it. Him kind of coming to terms with his growing up and what he has to lose in order to fully grow up and what he can gain from growing up. You know, I think that's what I think the tone is aging and maturity and stuff like that, but I'm not entirely sure.
Right. And then, like, my guess is, like, that it is kind of a maturing process, but how to mature properly. So, like, you know, they do all the things with the adults and stuff like that, and how they lose their creativity and they become these mindless drones, aka the giant irons that rub out the wrinkles on your brain and stuff like that. And there was, like, a lot of weird synopsis things about it that kind of, like, threw me off a little bit. But, you know, like, either way, it was a good show. It reminds me a lot of, like, School Prison. To where, like, and I think that's why that show gets so confusing, is because, like, it's focused a lot on that, like, kind of sexual humor / just humor in general that, like, overshadows some of the deeper meaning of the actual show. But, like, definitely an awesome show for me as well. And, you know, we already touched on it. My Hero Academia, definitely a dope show.
Yeah.
Dan's taking his time, though. like I can't believe you can do that with such great shows, though, man. Like,
dude, it literally everything right now. What I have to do is just, like, throw my consoles out the window for, like, a week, and then just do nothing but watch shows. But, like, I always have a game that I want to play, especially now that I have, like, Xbox Game Pass or whatever. And I'm just like, oh, I want to play this, so I'm gonna play this rather than, you know, watching a show. I like having my hands involved.
I might get it. You know, the Xbox Pass thing. Albert said he got it by accident. He was like, it's actually, you get a lot for your money.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and you, like, it goes on sale a lot too. Like, it went up on Target the other day where you get 6 months for $30, which is, like, that's nothing.
Right. And we could definitely, like, kind of make a series of it too. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they put stuff on there all the time. Like, they put on Doom this week, which is the next thing I'm gonna try and play, and Hitman and Rage.
Right. So the next part of our section is about social media, media in general, really. You know, and, like, this is probably just gonna be a quick glance over, but, you know, we might as well talk about it a little bit. You know, I'll probably get a little bit better about, like, reaching into the communities and seeing if there's anything we can pull up to talk about in this specific section. Again, this is a work in progress series, but we'll go for it anyway. I'm avoiding the news in general. What about you, man? Like, I just can't. I
can't avoid it. I use Reddit too frequently, and it's always there. And my dad will always bring up whatever was on CNN today and talk to me about it. But it's weird times we live in where the news is just really cringy all the time on both ends. It's just like Trump does some dumb stuff and it's stupid, and then you got the people who are like, but yeah, the liberals are trying to get him, and then they're also stupid. Like, everyone's dumb. Everyone does dumb things, and it's just obnoxious. So for the most part, I try and avoid it as well. It's just very difficult, especially, like, if you sort by all on Reddit, because, like, the top 10 posts are all like, Trump did some dumb shit today, and then it's like, you know, people just fighting with each other to the death over what is, like, douchebag reality show host who's running our country is doing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Juju. Like, I have like a hard time watching like police videos, like misuse or anything like that. Anybody getting shot for no logical reason, like, and it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter where you come from. Like, all those videos just extremely trigger me. Like, I either get angry or I get sad. And it's just like
yeah, exactly. That's not how I want to feel.
Right. It's just so unnecessary.
But like even like gaming media and like nerd media right now is in a weird spot because of that whole thing with Chris Hardwick from Nerdist or whatever, and like him abusing his ex-girlfriend and then them like rehiring him. So now it's just everybody up in arms.
Oh, could you explain a little bit? Because I actually didn't hear about that. No.
Chris Hardwick about a month ago got one of his ex-girlfriends, Chloe Diskra, I think her name is. I apologize if I'm butchering that. She kind of detailed this abuse that he laid in on her while they were dating. Not a lot of mental abuse, a little bit of I don't think there was really any physical abuse there. It was more just like mental abuse and stuff like that. And I know that he got fired temporarily from the Talking Dead show that he was on, like the talk shows. And he got written off as the founder of Nerdist. And then this week, they rehired him on The Talking Dead, and they put his name back on Nerdist. And they're like, we did an investigation, and we don't think that he's at fault. But the whole internet has, they take sides really early. So there's a lot of people that hate Chris Hardwick right now. There's a lot of people that stand with Chris Hardwick right now. Personally, I don't know the situation. I don't want to get involved too much. If it is true, then he's a piece of shit. If it's not true, then, it sucks. It's the thing is with a lot of this kind of abuse, especially when it's like mental abuse allegations, it's really hard to prove that, Right. Like you could be like, yeah, this dude made me want to kill myself, but unless you can, show that he made you want to kill, it's just a whole weird situation. So a lot of people have been talking about like that as far as like, the nerd side and things. And even Ninja's been in hot water recently because of a comment he made.
That's that one I do know about, but go ahead and explain it.
He made the comment where he doesn't stream with female streamers because he doesn't want the shitstorm that comes with it towards his current serious relationship, which in one sense I totally get. Because the internet is a terrible place filled with terrible people. They will jump on anything and run it to the ground, and I totally get it. But I also get the fact that everybody is like, hey, that's a kind of sexist thing. Because it kind of is. Like, girls are just people. Just be, like, normal and be like, yeah, we can play whatever. But he's right and wrong. It's a weird situation.
See, I want to comment on the first one about the guy itself, and then I'll go into the whole ninja thing. I should have stopped you there, but you're kind of on the roll, so I was like, I'll just let it ride. So the first one, I just wish we could be human. Like I get this, I get that people do sucky things, but I mean, like, I don't always think people should actually lose their jobs for those situations because everybody has bones in their closet. And you can't be a perfect human being. And if everybody was better, then we'd all be better. And in these situations, we can't come at everybody with the pitchforks and going, get out! Because I mean, like...
But that's one of the issues with social media is giving everybody the opportunity to have this, online pitchfork that they can tote whenever and just get either irrationally mad about things or rationally mad about things, but just to air out their grievances to millions and millions of people all around the world. And at least a few of them might have similar opinions. And that's when it starts like bubbling up,
Right. And so like, that's my only issue with it is I just wish we could go, okay, let's sit this guy down. Hey, you suck for that. You suck for that. And you should pay in some way for that bad behavior. But should we start just Xing people out because they do bad things? No, because everybody has that in their lives and stuff. And that's the only thing that I kind of wish that we could sort out. A reasonable way to reprimand people for the bad behavior they do without destroying lives.
It depends on like the
severity of the crime. Correct.
It depends on how long ago it happened. Like, for example, there's that whole James Gunn thing with Guardians of the Galaxy where he was fired for tweets from 10 years ago, and it's very clear that he doesn't talk or act like an edgy fucking edgelord anymore. Like he did.
Right.
So it's weird. Like, do I think he should have been fired for that? Absolutely not. Do I think all those jokes are in super poor taste? For sure. But that was 10 years ago, way before
And it was
he ever
way
started working.
different back then.
And they knew about it. They knew about those things, and they didn't care at the time. So all of a sudden, when like this like crazy dude, Mike Cernovich, who is just a crazy guy, was just like, "Oh, we gotta fire him. He's a pedophile." And then Disney was like, "Oh, we got all these weird people with anime pictures on Twitter yelling at us. We gotta fire him."
We gotta do something.
Yeah. So
Like, this is what I mean. That kind of culture, that extreme PC type of thing, really does
and that's the thing. Like, I don't mind PC culture. Like, people, I think PC culture is just don't be like a genuine, like a jerk or a douche to people. I think that's fine. But I think that some people just take shit way too far and blow things way out of proportion.
I don't think we can get one without the other. I think we
right,
lose
because
the ability.
and that's the problem with giving everybody a voice on the internet.
Right.
Like, as much as I don't want anybody to be silenced, everyone should feel like they have like a voice, but giving everybody a voice leads to these problems.
Right. And it's like, in general, you know, I don't think in Juju, I see you. I don't think social media is like hell or anything like that. I just think it's definitely an expression of who we are as individuals, and that's just the undertone of our culture. We just need to learn more respect for one another. We need to learn how to be human, and like that's kind of like weird, you know, like because it's just everybody wants to live by this perfect veil of I'm so great, I'm so awesome, I have no problems of my own. Look at all these sick and crazy people out there, and like that has to stop. Everybody has to sit back and go, hey, we're all human. We all have our own issues. We all grew up with our own problems. We all have our different problems now. But, you know, people make mistakes, and let's let people make mistakes, because I'm going to make them, you're going to make them, and let's just...
Once again, for me, it just depends on the severity of the mistake. Tweeting a bunch of dumb shit, not a mistake.
Right, and you can acknowledge it for being
raping
stupid.
43 women, Bill Cosby, that's a bad mistake.
That's a bad one. And it sucks because like our reaction, like laughing, like it's not really that funny.
No, it's not funny at all. But
it is though.
It's like it's just you know that's the point. We're at like such a societal low where like these shitty things can just be funny because you just kind of have to laugh at it at this point, like because it's so terrible. But anyway,
and so yeah, and so like you know that's pretty much that situation. But Ninja. So I think Ninja's situation's a lot different in these aspects, because I think like Ninja, I think he's very valid in his point. It's just he doesn't realize the kind of good he could do for women gamers. And like I think
absolutely.
That's
I agree with you wholeheartedly. So it's that's what I think it is. And he's not like because the fact that he's streaming with dudes, so he's putting on these dudes because he has, you know, like 10 million subscribers or whatever the heck it is, 50 million subscribers, however many people watch Ninja all the time, which is, I watch Ninja from time to time. I think he's like very good at Fortnite, and he's decently entertaining of a person. And like he does a lot of, for the most part, what I've noticed is good charity work, donates a lot of the stuff he makes. Yeah. So I don't have a personal gripe with Ninja. But yeah, that is absolutely like, he's doing a disservice to some of the women streamers who he could just be like have on for an episode, and all of a sudden, boom, their channel
put on.
But so, on the same page, I get where he's coming from, because like we talked about, the internet is terrible, and they will take something small and turn it into a grand scale disaster.
They're easy workarounds, though. There's easy workarounds. He just doesn't have to duo. He could be in a squad of 4, 2 girls, 2 dudes. Yeah. Yeah. Problem solved. You know,
even like, 3 dudes and 1 girl.
Exactly.
It
problem
doesn't like
solved.
Yeah. I think the completely not playing with women thing is silly.
Like
it's childish.
Ligma.
But
of course you would go there. You know about that meme, right?
Like Ligma? I've only heard of Sugma.
Okay.
And Sugandis.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen like the Goose or something like that, but it's basically all the same thing. It's pretty funny. You
No,
know, but like,
I know Ligma. I was just making a joke.
yeah, going through all the other memes.
Yeah,
So it's like
all the other ones, all the same ways to say
Right.
do something to my balls.
so like I don't know. That's my only issue with it is like they're really really easy workarounds on making this situation it is. Have your wife present. You know, like it's just so,
Let her play with you.
exactly. There's just too much good that you could provide those people that it's like
Right.
we get it. Yes, you're gonna catch a little undertones, but if your wife's there and you honestly help someone's career, they're not gonna be like, oh well, let me ruin it by trying to flirt with them. No,
Yeah.
Ninja, please
Well,
improve my life. Like,
yeah.
So it's like that's my only real issue with that
Yeah.
itself.
No, I agree. I mean, once again, it's I get it, but I also think it's dumb.
Oh, she did play one time? I'm not sure. I don't keep up with Ninja that often because
I
there's
don't-
just other
is his-
people in the scene that
Is
I
his
like
wife
more.
a streamer? Is his girlfriend a streamer?
No,
Or does she
she's not.
play?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Like I said, I don't know his personal life too well. I just know that he's in a relationship because of that article.
Right. So I kind of wanted to bring up something with the Smash scene because there's like this big thing going on in the Smash scene. I don't know if you know, but a recent event that just came out, they had this last.
Are you talking about the Bayo thing?
The Bayo thing into
Yeah.
the most recent one, which is the Hungry Box left in situation, and everybody jumped down Hungry Box's throat because like he was looking at his watch during the set, and like he won the first one, and wait, okay, yeah, he won the first set, and then he lost the other two or something like that, and like when he got out, everybody was like hitting him up with his feet, saying he's glad he lost and he sucks and he should, hurt himself and all these different things, and he blew up. He was just like, I've been here in this community for forever.
Yeah, dude, one of the reasons I'm like as into Smash as I am now is because of the Smash Brothers documentary on whatchamacallit on YouTube that was made by a husband and wife, and he's a big part of that, where it talks about all the different Smash gods, and he's one of the prime players in that whole documentary. So I like he's been there forever. I don't understand why people all of a sudden think that he's like disrespectful.
Well,
Like-
it was a situation that they just clearly saw him looking at his watch,
Yeah.
and it was like kind of during the set, and then like he kind of later on, like after he blew up and was like, I hate you guys, and I've been here in this community forever. I've been positive. I've interacted with everybody that comes up to me. I've been nice, and the only thing you guys give me is shit. And I'm just tired of dealing with it. This like the most toxic community I've ever been in. And like that's kind of what happens. But like I think that this community is kind of getting a little destructive, in a sense. And I feel like we get a little of that feedback being MMG. It's really hard to reach out to people. It's really hard to connect. Half the people are like, Wi-Fi, blah, and they like frown on us and stuff, but spit on us a little bit. You know what I mean? Like that's a part of like becoming a business, becoming a brand, and putting yourself out there. But at the same time, like it's just they just get so extreme to where it's like, and the reason he was looking at his watch was because like the set or the whole tournament itself went over, and like his flight was delayed.
Yeah,
but
so
like
he
he
had
was
to make
worried
sure
about,
he got there on time.
correct. Otherwise
Yeah.
he can't get home, and that's
Like
definitely
I
a
said,
reason to like
everything
worry.
I know about Hungry Box doesn't make him seem like a bad guy. Like Mango, if Mango did that shit, I'd be like, yeah, he's kind of a douchebag. He's very good at the game, but he has douchebag tendencies, whatever. But like Hungry Box is super humble. Like most of the time, you see him or hear from him. So
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like this would be like a taunting maneuver or whatever they thought it was.
No, he was just honestly
Yeah,
worried
just
about
honestly
going
curious
home.
about the
Like,
time.
right, and it's like if you've ever messed up on a flight, it is expensive. My wife
yeah, dude.
messed one up not too long ago. It cost us $900 to correct
Yep.
that issue, and it was like she picked the wrong day. And it wasn't like that plane was filled or anything like
Yep.
that. In reality,
Yeah,
they
well,
probably could have.
if it's their issue, then then they give you on a new flight or give you like a voucher or something of that nature. But if it's on you, then good luck.
They rake you over the coals, man, and it was one of those situations. And so I was like, after like reading all that, I was like, man, that's so ridiculous, man. I can't believe people can be that way sometimes. It's just so hard to understand, especially for somebody who's done so much for the community.
Right.
He's very active. I like we look on
Absolutely.
his social media all the time. He's like, so I just don't. I don't get it. In the Bayo situation, seeing how you know that,
I knew about the Bayo situation.
You have any feelings about that?
I think it's weird because like I get the frustration with the audience, especially in the finals where they were just like booing the shit out of them because they weren't even like trying anymore. But like it's a character in the game. Like if there's no ban list, and maybe there should have been a ban list, but if there's no ban list, I don't think booing because someone's picking the cat, like I think it's so silly. It's just kind of toxic. But their actions when they played each other was also pretty toxic in Smash 4, like the finals where they met each other as Bayo and just fucked around for the whole set.
Right.
Like that.
Homie stocks and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I wouldn't be that offended by homie stocks. It's just, at the end of the day, everybody spends so much money to come to these events.
Right.
And there's so many people who know they're not going to win. And it's, so it's like, if you guys go and play pussyfoot on, stage, like, yeah, I think
that's insulting to everybody else who just, like, competed and tried their hardest for you guys to just be like, whatever.
Right. And Juju, I agree with you. There was obviously a character in every damn Super Smash Bros. Game that was like that. I just think, like, just people want to see better from Nintendo. That's what it really is, in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. They just stopped with Smash 4. I'm pretty sure this must have been right when Smash Ultimate development started.
Right.
They just stopped doing anything.
Patch updates, yeah.
No patches. So Bayo came out. I think there might have been one patch after Bayo came out, and it nerfed her slightly, but not enough. And that was it. So that was just what the things are going to be. I think Ultimate will see a lot more involvement from the team, especially because I do think this will be the last Sakurai Smash. So I think he will keep it going as long as possible. But, Smash, it's already been, 4 years since Smash 4?
Yeah.
Like that? So.
But they broke their own game. So, like,
Right.
They broke their own damn game. Cloud was bad enough, but, like, he was doable. He was clearly overpowered, but he was doable. But Bayo just broke the damn game. You'll literally be watching / casting whatever you see on screen, and you're like, yeah, 0%, and then, like, the dude's dead. And there's like, he's not a bad player. He just got caught in that one move that has a 60% chance of just outright killing you. And then she goes off stage, and you're like, yeah, she shouldn't make it back from that. He edge guarded her twice. Touch. You're like, should she have made that? And you think of like all the other characters that they're like, oh well, we don't want them to be unbalanced, like any of the big characters, like Little Mac and stuff. Terrible recovery.
Not in Ultimate though. His recovery looks pretty beast in Ultimate. I'm excited.
We'll see.
He could use his side B into his up B now.
Which should have been in the game.
Which should have always been. Right.
It should have just been there.
When you use the side B.
Right.
There's so many times where I was just like, oh, accidentally hit side B. Guess I'm dead now.
Guess I'm dead. And it's like, it's so ridiculous because there's so many characters that have better kits who can get back on stage. Luigi, for example. I mean, use Green Missile like 30 times.
Like I said, all this is going to be not come Smash Ultimate, which I do think is going to be a love letter to not just all the Smash fans around the world, but to the competitive community for sticking it out through all these years. They're doing a lot of things. Even that like final Smash meter that they talked about, like that could make its way into the competitiveness.
I hope it does.
All the other games do. All the other games have it.
But people are complaining. Our community is so weird. They're like complaining about it. I'm like,
why? They're dumbing down the abilities so they're not as strong. When you have the meter on.
Who knows why? A lot of people were just like, well, like there was one element that I didn't agree with, that it carries over from stock to stock. I think you should definitely lose the meter.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Like over that period. That makes sense. But
I think you should be able to toggle it between, like, because for a fun playthrough, like if you're playing with like your little brothers and friends and stuff like that, like having it carry over through stock is nice because that lets them use it. But I think in a competitive aspect, you should be able to toggle between when you can use it.
Yeah. So there's that element, but then again, that's not very bad to be honest. Think about it. Like every other game, every other fighting game, it carries over after that round. You still get that meter. You can still burn that meter in some different kinds of way. Cass will sit down. Well, does he have any meter? Can he make this comeback? And it's like They have super moves. They take about a quarter of your health at least, you know? And it's like, it's not, in reality,
the only ones
it's not that
really
ridiculous.
need to be super edited are the ones that are like pretty much one-hit kills, you know?
Correct. The ones that drag you off stage and stuff. So I saw Mario's and I was like, I don't know how that's going to work. Because if it drags you off stage, it doesn't matter.
It'll probably just not knock back as far. Maybe it just won't be as like wide of a shot. I don't know.
Maybe it'll be limited. Maybe that'll be the case for everyone.
I trust them that they'll make it work. I hope so, at least, because I would love to like Final Smashes are awesome, but I've only seen like half the characters' Final Smashes because I hate the Smash Ball. I think it's the dumbest thing ever, and I just don't like playing with them on. So
I'm just curious what they're going to do with big characters. Like, I want big characters to be viable. And before our little, conversation in this podcast, I actually looked the dude up who made it, like, a whole thing about it and stuff like that. And they talk about how trash certain heavy characters are. And he was like, the only true heavy in the game was Snake. I did not know Solid Snake was originally designed to be a heavy character.
He's slow. He's pretty slow, yeah.
Yeah, he kept all his stats, but they reduced his model. And he showed this like picture of him kicking, and there was like this much of a gap, on screen. And he karate kicked the hell out of that dude's chin. And he played the X-File thing, because his original design was supposed to be bigger.
Mm-hmm. You also got to look at it like this: that the two of the brand new characters they've announced, like not Echo Fighters, two of the just brand new characters, big boys. It's big boy season. Maybe that'll translate into Smash Ultimate.
Hopefully, because they can make so much money, man. Like, this is what I don't get about certain kinds of companies, because they say it's all about the money, and it's like, introduce skins to the game.
Oh, I think they
continue
will.
to patch.
I'm like wholeheartedly thinking that this game is going to have skins, like downloadable skins that you can unlock for characters. And if not that, the Echo Fighter pool that they come out with like post-launch is going to be something to behold.
That would be pretty amazing, dude. Like, the game's going to be so crazy off a roster alone. That's so
characters
nuts.
that can already be Echo Fighters just on the sake that they were in previous entities of the game, or like as assist trophies and aren't now. Like, they haven't shown Shadow yet. He could be an assist trophy. Skull Kid, Gino. I mean, those could be their own personal characters or whatever. There's like, they're very Nintendo and Sakurai are very smart with the way they market this game. So I think this game has the potential to last for a long time. And since Nintendo, like, part of the reason that Smash 4 died so early is because Nintendo was just like, the Wii U is done. We are done with the Wii U. But I think the Switch is going to actually have some longevity. I don't think they're not transitioning out of the Switch anytime soon, meaning that they'll have longer to develop this game.
Right. And third party situation is better with Switch, right?
Yeah.
I figure you know more than I do. So
correct. Well, I mean, there's third party games on the Switch. The Wii U had like maybe 4 or 5 companies that put games on the Wii U.
Right. It was just too difficult from my understanding.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll move on to the next topic, which is culture. I wanted to talk a little bit about esports, specifically Fortnite. Like I don't know if you keep up with it. You mentioned Ninja, but like I've just kind of been really into it, even though I kind of refuse to play the game because like its beta form kind of irritates me. Like I just hate that they don't have all the things that they're supposed to in the game by now. Like we talk about it almost every damn time. Like you guys make too much money. Like I just can't accept
I think that
a lack of resources as an excuse anymore.
For a beta though, it's not really a beta. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as betas go, I wouldn't really consider it in a beta form. It doesn't feel like a beta when I play it. Yeah, I mean like they add stuff and take stuff away or whatever just to see how it works, but it doesn't ever feel like a beta.
It's not.
It just feels like that's the way the game is supposed to work.
It is. Like that's why I'm like, other game modes, please. Other game modes. I don't.
But they do. It's just that they're only limited time.
Like sure.
Like right now,
why are they limited time though?
It's like the storm. Like even from the beginning, the storm is just constantly moving in.
Like it just somewhat bothers me. I just want the game to be more diverse. I think, people are exploring this, battle royale mode. They're starting to explore. What was the other game mode that they're exploring? Why can't I think of it? No, there's like a couple games that are like being experimented, like the battle arena ones. So like Battle Right and
Oh, you just mean like different types of
yeah,
battle
yeah,
royale type games?
yeah. There's like different kinds of like kind of situations. PVE. I actually listened to Juju. I actually listened to a video about it, and they talked about how much of it was kind of like World of Warcraft type of deal. So there's like a lot of grinding and all that other stuff to the save the world mode of Fortnite. And
I wouldn't consider it a World of Warcraft type deal. It's like a tower defense essentially.
well, I heard it was a little bit of that, but you're supposed to be able. It was modeled off of the Gears of War mode Horde. So I don't know if you've ever played that. But it's supposed to be like a defense type, you earn experience for weapons and characters and all that other stuff. Just kind of like
I have it. I just
off.
don't play it very often because I'm not good at it. I'm not good at building. It's the same thing I'm bad at regular Fortnite. I'm not good in the Save the World Fortnite, which makes it feel like so much more essential.
But it seemed like an interesting game. I'm just such a social gamer, and I know everybody. Dan would probably play it with me, but pretty much everybody else would be like, "No, I'm not getting it, man. I'm not getting it." So it's like, I want more game modes with this game. Imagine a territories game with this. Like it would just be so dope because you'd actually build forts to protect territories and stuff. It would start getting into that territory of you, like what you used to imagine when you used to play these types of games and you used to play these different modes. It'd be so cool if we could build our little fort and protect it and make little holes and make them attack us and we hold off these positions. And it's like you're starting to get into the root of our like childhood, at least mine, because I definitely had dreams of that. Like, man, it'd be cool if we could change the terrain in some type of way, and they could just do so much more with this game. And it's not that it's underlived, because it'll get there. At least I hope so. It only makes sense, but even
I honestly
still.
don't think so. I think they're just going to stick with the battle royale formula because it's working right now. Like they won't pivot until they have to, and I don't think they have to. They're not put in the position right now. People are throwing money at them left and right. They're like, I even bought a fucking skin last week, and I'm like so adamant about not buying skins because they're so expensive in that game. But they had released the Burger Head Man, and I was just like, well, I have to buy this now, so we're getting the Burger Head Man.
And it hurts me so. I hope they don't do what you're saying, Dan. I really want these other game modes. And I just hope the hype kind of dies a little.
Look at how much attention they give to Save the World right now.
None. And that was what that video was about that I watched. They were like, it's ridiculous because it's a good ass game. He's like, this is so revolutionary.
There's a lot of cool
in so
things
many
about
ways.
it, but they don't. That's not where the cash is coming from. The cash is coming from the battle royale mode. So let's put in all of our resources and effort into that and building that as best we can.
See, that's the problem though. Is they have enough resources. There's no excuse. I just can't rationalize an excuse that makes sense because it's not like people don't like Save the World.
No, right. Everyone who played it likes it for the most part. I mean, that's what Fortnite originally was. That's when I first saw Fortnite marketed, it was the Save the World mode. And I was like, man, this game I'm going to be terrible at it, but it looks awesome. It looks like a lot of fun. And then I got it, and sure enough, I was terrible at it, but it is pretty fun. So that's what Fortnite was always intended to be until they got hold of the source code for PlayerUnknown's Battleground and was like, this game is pretty popular. We could do this.
And it's not bad because Fortnite in its battle royale mode is definitely good. It's just they just don't have any of these excuses because they could add the other battle modes. And the argument I made before was sure, Call of Duty was known for its arena mode, but that doesn't mean people didn't like gun game. It didn't mean that people didn't like all the other special modes in the actual game. Domination became the competitive spirit of that game itself. There's so many things that fall sure, it's not its mainstay, but it added so much life to the actual game itself.
But then you got to think about this on the same Call of Duty example. Right now, Call of Duty is pivoting, and they're doing the exact opposite. Rather than loading their game with story that people want, that they've come to expect for years of playing Call of Duty games, Or certain multiplayer modes, they're like, we're putting battle royale and gun shoots. Have fun. Call of Duty, Black Ops 4.
Like zombies too, you know. It's like there's money in it all because we want more, man. We want more. So if you give it to us, we'll pay you for it. Like that's what bothers me so damn much. Is there's no excuse. There's no excuse because we'll happily pay you for what we want. And that's just what boggles my mind. But we're definitely going a little long, you know? So like I want to get through some of the other things. So what video games are you looking forward to outside of the ones that we're currently playing?
Looking forward to. I mean, I have 2 games pre-ordered right now, so I'm pretty excited about Fire Pro Wrestling for the PS4. It's a wrestling video game. Remake of the old Fire Pro games. There was one on the PS2. There's one way back on the Super Nintendo. It's the same kind of like graphic style too, which is nice. Features New Japan Pro wrestlers, so everybody in the New Japan Pro wrestling scene would know Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Tetsuya Naito, Kazuchika Okada, stuff like that. And the cool thing about that game, as far as wrestling games go, the WWE games are best known for their creation aspect. You can pretty much create anything. That's one of my favorite things to do in 2K18, which is not a particularly good game, but go on to like the community creation mode and download dumb characters that people have, uploaded and fight my buddies with them.
And Jude is coming.
Don't worry. That's the second thing I'm talking about.
It's coming.
It's coming. But yeah, Fire Pro Wrestling. That's the next game I'm excited for because that's just the one that arrives at my house soonest. That comes out in a couple weeks for the PS4. It's already on the PC, but since I have a Mac because I'm a terrible person, I can't play it. But yes, other than that, obviously September 7th, got me Spider Boy right here. Here it is for the folks at home. It's a little beautiful Spider-Man from the video game in pin form. Yes, I am very excited for that game. It looks incredible. I can't really say much about it because I haven't played it. But everything I've watched, woo boy, that's gonna be a fun game. That's gonna be a fun game. I think. So yeah, Spider-Man for sure. That's the main. That's the piece de resistance. That's like the next big game for me. And then you wait a little bit, and then there's still Kingdom Hearts and Smash coming out in the coming months after that. But we're plateauing at Spider-Man for a bit. Like that's taken up all of September.
I have 2 things because Juju, yeah, we'll do that. I'll go ahead and buy the damn game. Sad face. It's probably not terrible.
I'll give you a review, man. I will definitely give you a review on that game.
But the game I'm looking forward to, which I didn't know existed until now, now that they're starting to talk about it in the U.S. market, is Valkyrie Chronicles 4. And they went back to the original format.
Oh, that's good, because the last Valkyrie game that they came out with was terrible.
Doo-doo.
Revolution?
Doo-doo.
I heard that game was like one of the worst games of all time.
I was like so sad because I got a PSP and I was like, yeah, or a PS Vita, and I was like, yes, I'll get to play this game. And then they just did something entirely different. And like, you know me, we've been having these conversations so often. Don't uproot the soul of the damn game. Don't do that. Just expand on it. Do the Smash Ultimate route. That's what we want, man. Like, just expand on what we already love. You can add a few extra, like, mechanics, but don't just go, you know what? We're starting from scratch. Fuck no. All right? Number 1, it's number 2. It's not a new series. It's not any of that. You put Valkyrie Chronicles 2 and you gave me this shit. Like, that's not acceptable, all right? It's not. It's not. It's the same thing I complain about, Final Fantasy games. Like, I'm sorry. Stop calling it Final Fantasy because it's just rude. It's rude to my feelings. It's rude to my soul. And yes, I know you're a fan. I know you're a fan, Dan. I know you love it, but it doesn't change
I'm way more
anything.
forgiving on the fact that they're all different.
Gosh damn, it makes me pissed. Like, I love the last one, man. I'm coming back for that last one. So when you do that, you just you play with my emotions, man. You play with them, and I just I tune you out after that. I'm like, man, I'm done. So Valkyrie Chronicles 3 came out.
Halo hasn't come out yet, or I don't think there's one coming out this year. They just kind of announced, like, glossed over it at the Microsoft press conference, so it's not going to come out for a while. But this has been a pretty good year with games. I mean, so far the main headline would be God of War and the game I'll talk about and what I'm playing right now. But God of War has really stole the show so far for the year. But this fall winter season of games we have coming out is spicy.
Oh yeah,
it is a spicy meatball. There's a lot of cool stuff on the way. So I think this is going to be, like, even going into, like, next February, we got games on top of games. Like, the backlog for me is going to get way out of hand.
I need you to get Valkyrie Chronicles though. I'm gonna get Spider-Man. We just need to review it. I'm so excited for this damn game. And yeah, I'm into Halo.
Listen, I love JRPGs, so I will definitely try out the Valkyrie series.
Right, it's a little bit more turn-based, and you get to control your dudes, but they still perform the actions. So you'll move them around, and then you'll go, okay, I need you to shoot. Then
there's also the re-release of Tales of Vesperia. That's one of my favorite Tales games.
Yeah, I did like that. But once again, I'm excited for Halo, but it's no different than what I just explained and what I went on that little rant with. Is like I'm ready to be disappointed. I'm ready to be disappointed. Like honestly, I keep saying the same thing over and over. Like, I feel like the communities are so vocal about what they want, and companies just do something entirely different. So I'm just ready to be disappointed.
To be fair, though, the main thing that people want out of Halo is for it to be made by Bungie, and that ain't gonna happen anymore.
Well, because they'll know that they'll get the formula correct.
Right.
Like 343 is like.
They're still trying to figure themselves out.
About that. I was going to mention one game that I'm playing currently, which is Halo Wars 2. Like, I feel like they do the same thing. Everybody's like, hey, look, this game is terribly balanced. You guys need to balance it. You guys need to balance it. You guys need to balance it. Yeah. About that. And the last patch they did was pretty good. And I can't complain. It's just again, when you're something like 343 Industries or Microsoft, in other words, like, you have the resources. There's no reason. There is no reason. And it's like, at the end of the day, the community has already proved to you that we're willing to mod our own damn game. We're willing to balance it ourselves. If you can't dedicate any kind of time, provide a way for us to mod the game for ourselves. And then allow us a competitive way to play on servers to do that.
They can even monetize it like Fallout did.
Exactly, because we talked about this. There's no reason.
Right.
There's no reason.
I understand. Yeah, Jujubee brought up Red Dead. I'm not into Red Dead, so please don't crucify me. But yeah, I understand the hype behind that game. It's a game that people have been waiting for forever. Red Dead 2 came out on the PS2, 10 years ago, 15 years ago? It's just like how I am with Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, I'm foaming at the mouth for that game.
Nope, I turned that off too. That's like, how many years in the making? 8, 9 years in the making? I don't even know.
Hearts, well, if you don't count all the middle games, it's been, I think, 15 years.
See, you can't. I don't understand how people maintain the hype. I just can't.
Well, because I've played the middle games, and I go back and play the other games.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I refuse. I get so upset. It's not worth the energy. It's like watching the news. I just know. I'm not. You know, you're not going to get me. You're not going to bait me into this.
It's going to happen, though. It is actually. This is not even bait anymore. This is real. This is concrete.
Right, just like Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Right, like I was not making a big deal about Kingdom Hearts until they finally put I saw all the stuff and I was like, yeah, cool, this game looks like it's going to be awesome when it comes out when I'm 80 years old. But then when they were like, it's coming out in January, I was like, now we're in, baby! Strap them in! Let's go!
Like, I can't be baited anymore. I was so hyped for it.
Same with Final Fantasy VII. They showed the footage, and I was like, "This looks cool," but I still don't think I'm gonna see it in my lifetime.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it. So I think this is important. We don't talk very much about these types of things, and I kind of wanted to incorporate in this show. This is the first time that we'll ever be doing something like this, so we'll see how it goes and whether or not it stays. But I wanted to ask, I'm skipping one of the things, I wanted to ask about your mental state, man. How's life? How you're feeling? Maybe we should have started with this, to be honest.
This is probably how we should have started. But no, mental state's good, fairly. Life is good. Nothing crazy. Estrata Palooza 3 for all that, all those in the know. I'm a big party in my honor that I'm throwing, called Estrata Palooza, the third of its kind. That's exciting thing to think about. Other than that, nothing, man. Just living life. Happy to be here. Yeah, not really any negative things in my mental state at the moment. Just when I go on social media, it brings out the worst in me sometimes. But other than that, it's not so bad. What about you?
All right, so I'm feeling good. I think, being the CEO of Money Match Gaming gives me a certain amount of anxiety.
Yeah, there's definitely stress and anxiety with being in charge of anything, especially something that you care about.
So, like, I just feel like we're going where we need to go. It's just this continual friction of like patience and am I doing enough, and should I be learning this, should I be learning that, and you kind of have like moving entities in your business with your other partners and stuff, and you have this vision of how it's supposed to work, and you have to accommodate all these other individuals to kind of make it all come together, and sometimes it just feels difficult. And I never second guess Money Match Gaming. I never second guess what we're doing, but I do second guess like how long it's gonna take. Like, and I think it's pure impatience, but like I can't, like, I don't know. I just like it's this weird feeling of sometimes it feels like running into the same spot of a wall over and over and over, and it's like you just don't know if the next run into the wall is gonna break you through, or if it was better just to go around. Like that bitch is a mountain long, and you running your face into it's not the way it's supposed to be. So I'm just kind of waiting for it all to come full circle, and to see whether or not me and my team have made the right decisions. So yeah, exactly, like a maze, it's like, and like I go back and forth, and like hopefully I'm being realistic and not negative, because anytime I talk to my team members about it, I'm being negative, and it's just me, expressing what any individual goes through. It's just general anxiety. I have it too. I'm a human, and
for sure.
Like sometimes I don't know if I'm a good leader or not. It's just what anybody would experience, and quite frankly, what I think everyone experiences. It's just sometimes it's nice to have somebody be like, it's good, man. You're good.
That's good. You're doing. Hey, man, you're doing well. I'm proud of you, Lance.
Okay, see, now he's.
I'm not patronizing you.
Now he's fluffing me up, man.
I'm not. I'm trying not patronizing you. I'm being genuine. You're doing a good job, Lance.
Right.
I'm having a lot of fun working with you guys. I think this is cool.
So hopefully, podcasts pops off, all the tournaments and stuff we're having finally gets where it needs to be, and we can start employing people and stuff like that, and we can go full board, because I do have a job as well, so this is kind of a
side hustle.
All right, and so we're just trying to make it work, but I just felt like it's important for us to express the things that we're going through, because I know a lot of people watch to relieve themselves in the mental state, and it's always nice, especially with today's climate. I hear so much about mental health.
Yeah.
Like, we're all going through it, and so it's just
sure.
I want to be a little bit more open and vocal about where we're at.
I appreciate that for sure. That's definitely a good thing, and it's a good stance to have. It's mental health is something that, like you said, everyone deals with, everyone struggles with. No one's ever 100%. The goal is to get as close to 100% as possible. But yeah, no, for sure. I'm totally cool and open about talking about this kind of stuff.
And thanks, Juju. The last part of that is I don't like a lot of the things you see is definitely the creation of Alvin. He does a lot of the graphics, a lot of the content creation on our Instagram and stuff like that. I do very little compared to Smurf, so I just can't wait till we get into a position to where my skill sets can come to light, because there's a little bit of that as well. Sometimes you get into these points to where you feel a little useless, but it's part of the process, man. I'm not one of those guys that thinks that you need to grind it all out yourself. I think that's ridiculous.
That's the point of having a team, you know.
But that's what people approach, you know, and like you'll hear it and you'll see it come from both ways. You don't want to be incompetent yourself, but at the same time,
you can't do everything.
Yeah, I don't think it should be just
sure.
one individual. So hopefully it'll all come together and we'll do that. And Dan, I should have said it earlier, but Juju is making something for us. Not for Money Match Gaming, and I feel like I should have included you in it. So
that's fine.
Just because I see Juju and she's top of mind and everything like that, I need you to send me a picture of you crossing your arms and like this and kind of looking down, because it's going to be like an image of the MMG squad. And we're all kind of looking down and stuff like that. So you'll probably need some help taking that picture, but just make sure it's clear light so she can see you. And we'll go ahead and get something made, dude, because it should be cool.
I'll see what I can do. I'll try and send a few. That's dope.
All right. So that's it for today's little thing.
No, one more thing.
Okay. All right, go for it.
What am I playing these days? I am playing Dead Cells.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I've been wanting to talk about Dead Cells the whole time, man. Dead Cells is an incredible game, and so far is my favorite game of the year, and I loved God of War. God of War is an incredible game. Dead Cells is awesome. Dead Cells is a lot of fun. So if you listened to us last week, we talked about Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon is a roguelike bullet hell type game. This is a roguelike, but in the style of Metroidvania. Now, the reason Dead Cells is actually kind of popular at this moment is because there's a controversy surrounding it with the fact that IGN plagiarized some random YouTube video on a review, and that there was a whole big shitstorm that followed that. But the game is great. It's cheap, $25, definitely worth it. If you like Castlevania Metroid style games, it plays like that. It's significantly hard, but you get used to it. You learn the patterns of enemies, much like you do in Gungeon. You figure out what their weaknesses are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, as you have different types of items, whether it be, you know, using an assassin's dagger, which always crits from behind, or using...
Boy, this sounds like a review.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to end it actually with the line that was ripped straight from the IGN and that other guy's video. I forget what the other guy's name is. I'm sorry. Where it says, Dead Cells figures out an intriguing way to have your roguelike and Metroidvania experience all in one by focusing on your failures and urging you to try something new next time. That's word for word what the dude says at the end of his review. But no, for real, that's exactly what it's like. I just wanted to talk about it. I think it's a great game. I think everybody should go out and play it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's great. I still haven't beaten it. I've failed over 75 times so far, but that's not going to stop me. I'm going to get that one beaten it, so then I could beat it 4 more times on harder difficulties. Exciting stuff. Oh, and I'm also playing Borderlands 2 for about the billionth time.
Yeah, maybe we should do a review. I don't think I'd mind buying that game, although I will be out of town in 2 weeks.
Okay.
My daughter's having a naming ceremony, if you guys are curious. My wife is Native American, and they basically have like rite of passages during different levels of maturity of your life. And so, you know, my wife's name is Fears Nothing, if you're curious.
That's a dope name.
Yeah, it's kind of a badass name. So I'm curious what my daughter's going to get. And, like, you know, I can't give you any more information than that.
That's cool. I'm excited, dude.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm going to come back and go ahead and let you guys know what the new daughter's name is. Hopefully I can say it in Native American language. And then, you know,
just going to have to practice.
Yeah. So I have a feeling it should revolve something around joy. Like, if you guys ever met my daughter, she's...
I mean, I've seen every time she comes in, she's very joyful.
Right, and she, like... It's different when you meet her, though, because, like, instantly she's like, all right, we're best friends now. And I'm like, I really wish she wouldn't do that. He's a stranger, all right?
That guy's not your friend.
We don't know
guy
him.
From the internet, not your friend. Don't do that.
Like, just feel him out a little bit, you know? And then maybe he can be your best friend. But, you know, I always know that that's good. It's good for your kid to be in those situations. But, you know. It's still, you know, like...
Hey, it's a dad's work is never done, you know?
Right.
Or a parent's even. Because the original phrase is a mother's, but neither parent's work is ever done.
Right. So, we are gonna call it quits here. This is gonna be like a new series. I think we ended really well. It kind of went way better than I thought it was going to, seeing how it was the first run.
Oh yeah, we talked about a lot of things. All I was expecting to talk about was Dead Cells. So,
that was it.
So that was it. So we talked about way more than Dead Cells, which is great. And I got to talk about Dead Cells, which is something I just have been overly obsessed with.
Right. So we're going to let you guys go, man. Thank you guys for coming out. We appreciate you guys. One thing we don't say enough is if you guys have any suggestions or anything you guys want us to review, talk about, please let us know.
You want us to play Red Dead 2, Juju? We'll play Red Dead 2, dude, Juju.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Just for you. Just for you. You know, if that's kind of what you want, you know, then we can definitely do those things. But we're definitely trying. You know, and it's always hard to pull things out of the air. So if there's things that you guys want us to do, you know, review Spider-Man. Spider-Man, we got you, Jude.
Oh, I'm 100% reviewing Spider-Man, even if it's just me. I will just talk in your ear about Spider-Man for 25 minutes and just be like, this game is great. This is such a fun game.
It'll be cool if I don't like the game too, because then we'll see.
Oh yeah,
go red,
dude. Then you don't want to unleash the dragon, man. You don't want to do that to yourself. We've had this happen before. It's not fun for anybody involved. Everyone thinks I'm just like gonna kill somebody. I'm just, hey man, don't tell me you don't like things that I like.
The last one was the Disney short Incredibles. Like,
well, just no. All right. So I wasn't mad that you didn't like the short. I don't care about that. Man. I just the whole that you're just like I don't even think they should ever exist. That's what the part that set me off.
Because it should be like a small little YouTube video. Like, hey, remember Pixar exists. We make cool videos all the time. And then like when I was like,
how they do it. That's not how they do it. They literally always done it like this.
I know. It's
nothing new.
It should definitely come after the movie or something. I don't know. I actually talked to a few people after that. They're like, yeah, man, why would Dan like that? But it was good.
Why wouldn't Dan like that? It is just pure enjoyment thrown into your face for no reason other than just be like, hey, thanks for coming. Here's a little short film for you, baby. And I'm just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, but that'll do it for us. One final time, because we can't say it enough. If you guys have any suggestions, we'll definitely look out for that stuff. It's been good. It's been fun. But good night. Dan, closing words.
Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with us. Like he said, if you got any suggestions of things you want us to play, watch, eat, review, whatever, we'll do it. So thanks for being here, and I hope to see you here in the future again. This was a lot of fun.